It didn't start loud. It started quiet. Dead quiet. Tonight we're opening a frozen door into the Titanic's shadows. Not the polished ballrooms, not the grand staircase, but the dark corners where real horrors lived. Premonitions, betrayals, voices that came too late. These are 10 true horrors, each one proven buried under ice and time. If you want more true stories that shiver through your bones, subscribe now and ring the bell. Like this video so the next one finds you, and when it's done, tell us in the comments. Should we bring up more secrets from the ocean's black heart? For now, breathe in and hold it. 1. The Titan Prophecy. Long before Titanic slid down her slipway in Belfast, the world already knew her story, if they'd cared to listen. Morgan Robertson, a restless merchant sailor turned writer, sat at a cheap wooden desk in New York. By candlelight, he scribbled out a novella called Futility, or The Wreck of the Titan. His Titan was the biggest ship ever, 800 feet, triple screw propellers, steel bulkheads that made her unsinkable. Titan left port in April. She plowed through an ice field, cutting the black Atlantic at top speed, racing for fame and profit. Then, an iceberg. Starboard side. Steel gave way like paper. There weren't enough lifeboats. The ocean took what pride had built. When Titanic went down in April 1912, survivors who knew Robertson's story gasped. Size, speed, month, cause, lifeboats, the blueprint matched. Years later, people claimed Robertson was a psychic. He always laughed. It wasn't prophecy. It was math. Sooner or later, pride hits ice. The manuscript lives on, a printed ghost that called out across time. Find it. Futility is still in libraries. The pages are yellow now, but the chill inside them never fades. 2. The Journalist Who Died. Exactly as he wrote, William T. Stead was a man addicted to warning people. He'd exposed scandals, built orphanages, and wrote about sea disasters that hadn't happened yet. In his 1886 story, How the Mail Steamer Went Down, he imagined a collision at sea. Cold water rushing in, lifeboats missing, families torn apart by incompetence. He wrote it as a what if, then he lived it as a when. On Titanic, Stead told table companions how he feared the sea. He said, "I shall die at sea. It is the only death that suits me." He spent the final hours moving calmly among the panic, herding women into boats. When asked why he wouldn't climb in himself, he smiled. "No need. I knew I'd end this way." As the decks tilted, Stead was last seen alone, flipping pages of a book in the smoking lounge, as if the ocean wasn't already clawing at the windows. They never found his body. Proof. His old editorial, survivor accounts, and the official inquest all match. His story wrote him back. 3. The Nightmare Ticket. J. Conan Middleton dreamed of drowning for nights before Titanic left Southampton. In his visions, iron staircases twisted under rising water. He saw dining rooms glittering in gold and brass, darken in a rush of seawater and trapped screams. His wife thought he was working too hard. His friends laughed. But Middleton, a practical man who'd never missed a business voyage, canceled his ticket. On April 15th, he stood on his London doorstep at dawn as a newsboy's cry broke the street. "Titanic lost. Thousands drown." His neighbors remembered how he looked, pale as a ghost, one hand clutching the canceled ticket. Find it. Local London papers printed the rumor within a week. His family kept the ticket in a small wooden box. His children called it Father's Second Life. 4. The Water Warning. Edith Corse Evans boarded Titanic after a dazzling tour of Paris couture. She bought hats, furs, pearls. But none of it mattered when she stood beside Caroline Brown on the freezing decks. She told her circle more than once about a psychic she'd seen in New York. Beware of water, beware of drowning. She laughed about it for years, until the dark hour when crewmen forced women into lifeboats and she found herself next in line. Caroline hesitated. My babies, I can't leave them motherless. Edith stepped back. Then you take my seat. She watched the lifeboat lower into the black water. The next lifeboat never came for her. Proof: Caroline Brown testified at the U.S. Senate inquiry. Her children grew up remembering the rich lady who gave her last chance away. 5. The woman who refused sleep. Esther Hart hated Titanic's bragging posters. Unbreakable, unsinkable. She felt like tempting fate had a smell. She could taste it in the salt air as they left Southampton. Each night she lay in her bunk, fully clothed, hat at her side, boots lined by the door. She never let herself close her eyes for more than a minute at a time. When the collision came, the Hart cabin was already lit. Esther yanked her daughter Eva from bed. Her husband Benjamin kissed them both on the forehead. Go on now. I'll find you. Benjamin never found them. Esther and Eva did what Esther always feared. They drifted under stars in a lifeboat meant for 65, but carrying nearly 75, water licking the sides as the black North Atlantic swallowed the lights behind them. Proof: Eva Hart spent decades on stages telling the same truth. My mother knew. That's why I'm here. 6. The officer's uneasy letter. Henry Wilde was a veteran mariner. He'd seen storms, fires, near mutinies. But Titanic felt wrong. When he got word that he'd replace another officer just days before sailing, he wrote to his sister, "This ship feels queer. I don't know why." In the final hours, Wilde barked orders on the boat deck. Witnesses say he leveled a pistol at men who tried to rush the last lifeboat. Stand back or die where you stand. When the final lifeboat swung away, Wilde was alone by the davits, gun still in hand, the water climbing the deck. No one knows exactly how he met the end, bullet or Atlantic. Either way, the ocean swallowed his queer feeling with him. Proof: his letter is preserved at the Maritime Museum in Liverpool. Crew testimonies confirm the gun, the last steel line of order before cold chaos. 7. The young engineer in the dark. Jonathan Shepard was proud to be on Titanic's engineering team. The best boilers, the newest engines. But the Olympic crash haunted him. When Titanic's hull split under the starboard side, Shepard was deep in boiler room 5, feeding coal into a furnace the size of a small house. Metal screamed. Steam hissed like a monster's breath. Shepard slipped on the wet steel, his legs snapping under him like a twig. 2 stokers dragged him toward the emergency pumps, but a watertight door sealed shut behind them. Shepard looked back once, tears boiling from steam, then vanished under black freezing water that rose faster than a man could crawl. Proof: his father's letter to the Board of Trade remains in public records. Shepard's broken bones were never found. 8. The voice on the gangway. Alex Mackenzie wasn't a wealthy man, just a hopeful emigrant. All his savings were in that ticket. He stepped onto the gangway at Southampton, then froze. Get off. This ship will sink. He turned. Dock workers bustled past. He shook it off, took another step. The voice came again, louder. The third time he dropped his bag on the planks, turned and walked away without telling a soul. At the pub that night, he told the barkeep, "I threw away my chance. I'm a fool." When news of the sinking reached town, they called him a fool no more. Proof, the Southampton Echo ran his odd tale under a headline. Local man hears a voice. Lives. 9. The coal stoker who escaped in canvas. John Coffey didn't trust ships. He trusted coal, the heat, the rhythm, the danger under your boots. But Titanic felt dead to him. When the final stop in Queenstown came, Coffey looked at the horizon, then at the mail bags waiting to offload. He crawled in, heart pounding, breath held as loaders heaved the sacks off the ship. By the time Titanic steamed for New York, Coffey was in an Irish alley, half frozen but alive. His crewmates died in tunnels of steam and steel. Coffey drank to the voice that told him, "Get off. Breathe." Proof, his desertion fine is in White Star's crew register. A small punishment for cheating death. 10. The pig that played in the lifeboat. Edith Rosenbaum packed gowns and diamonds, but her most prized treasure was a music box shaped like a pig, a gift from her mother. When Titanic struck the berg, Edith clutched that silly pig-like armor. "It will keep me safe," she whispered. In Lifeboat 11, children wept for their fathers who wouldn't come. Mothers rocked babies as black water dripped from the boat's seams. Edith wound the pig. The tune floated across the icy waves, a fragile song above a graveyard of salt. When the rescue ship found her boat, Edith was still playing the pig. The ocean had taken Titanic, but not her song. Proof, Edith herself toured with the music box for years. You can see it at the Titanic Museum in Pigeon Forge today. 10 true horrors. Not legends, not ghost stories, but always the mom, but the cold, stubborn truth still rusting under 2 miles of Atlantic black. If you want us to drag up more, 20 more, 50 more, drop a comment below.
Dead. Quiet.
New stories every week. Subscribe if you're still here.